People who snapped and killed apex predators barehanded. Now, there's so much to dissect here. First of all, holy long-ass title. This is a whole-ass script. And the first thing I see is the granny incident. This one's gonna be good.
On a farm in rural Russia, 2012, a Russian grandma heard loud crying and whimpers
Oh, in Russia, they move different. I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna be the craziest thing you've ever heard.
outside of her home. Confused, she quickly ran outside to see what was going on. There, she was met with the grisly scene of a Eurasian wolf covered in blood while eating one of the grandma's baby cows. These wolves aren't
By the way, how do we know about the story?
like normal ones due to the Bergman's rule. This rule states that animals in colder regions evolve larger body sizes to stay warm. A male Eurasian wolf weighs anywhere from 150 to 170 pounds. With that being
Damn, they're hella light, by the way, like 30 to 50 kilograms. Bro, I can dropkick that thing.
said, any normal person would probably just lock themselves in their house and call police officers or something. But the grandma was unfazed. Her people have survived Soviet winters, food shortages, and probably World War II. So for her, a wolf was just another Tuesday. While the wild
I'm telling you, bro, these Russian people are different. They be moving different over there.
animal was trying to tear the calf apart, the grandma began roaring at it in an attempt to scare it off. But unbeknownst to her, the wolf had rabies and was manic. So instead of running away, the beast lunged at the grandma, going straight for her throat.
Oh, Granny's gone, bro. Granny's gone. No amount of vodka is gonna save your ass here, bro.
However,
No amount of sukobliat's gonna save you here, bro.
she immediately punched the animal in the snout, causing it to bite onto her left hand instead. She tried to open up the wolf's mouth so that she could shove her hand down its throat.
What?
That probably sounds like a random thing to do in this situation, but
Bro, is this normal in Russia? Like a dead ass. I thought they were crazy, but this is insane.
hunters and herders sometimes use this tactic because apparently larger animals have really bad gag reflexes. Unfortunately for her, however, the wolf's jaws were locked tight, and she wouldn't be able to get them open because it began
By the way, this is a grandma.
wrapping her hand around. So instead, she switched gears to her backup plan, punching. She kept on punching and punching and punching the wolf until it decided to go tear away at her legs. To be
Yo.
fair, she's 56 years old and fighting a wolf.
Okay, 56 is not as old as I thought, but she's a 56-year-old grandma. Like, are we dead ass? She's fighting a wolf right now?
So when the wolf began dragging her by the legs, that's when she realized she needed a weapon.
Granny, bro.
Luckily for her, her
Look at that, look at that. He didn't pay for the image, bro. I can see the fucking, I can see the copy tag.
trusty axe was nearby. While the wolf was busy munching on her feet, the grandma raised her axe high
Holy
above her
shit.
shoulders and split the wolf's head in two. Then she did it again, then she did it one more time for good measure. She was taken to the hospital where remarkably her injuries weren't too severe.
Russia needs to go. Russia, we need to get rid of all the Russians, bro. We need to get rid of them, bro. Like, genuinely put them on Mars, bro. We can't have them here. These people are different.
If you're a wolf and watching this video,
What the fuck?
then my advice to you is don't try to eat Russian grandmas. They're
Yo,
not pro-
these are the old women over there. Imagine like anybody else, bro.
They're more like Elden Ring bosses. Also, to add to that, don't try to eat these next types of people either. The dad incident.
Okay.
In 2021, a father in Karnataka, India,
In Russia. Oh,
was
India.
riding back home on his motorcycle in a forest. As is common in certain regions of India and other countries, the father was riding with his wife on the back of his bike while she carried their... It was nearing
Ooh.
nighttime, and after the family finished their
Why
work
do you blur out child? What the fuck? Yo, YouTube, you need to calm down, bro. Like, everything's getting sensitive nowadays, bro.
for the day, they were headed back to their village to relax. Their fatigued eyes squinted hard through the rural road they were on together. They tiredly blinked at it again and again until they noticed the motorcycle got heavier. The man's wife looked down at the she was carrying, and in the blink of an eye, she realized that there was now a full-grown leopard biting down on her kid's leg. Yuck.
Oh, hell not indeed. How do you not notice that?
160-pound wildcat was latched onto the and trying to run off into the forest with it, all while on a motorcycle. The mother screamed and pulled back her from the grip of the leopard's teeth, provoking the beast in the process. It quickly pounced and swiped at her in retaliation, prompting the man to increase the speed on his bike so that
Well, you
they
guys got leopards in India?
could outpace the cat. But unfortunately, his motorcycle wasn't fast enough to escape the animal because it quickly bit onto the leg of his again. Out of pure instinct, while still riding the motorcycle, the father began elbowing the leopard to get it off their child. The cat swiped up at him, causing him to crash the vehicle. However, before the leopard could run away with the child, the father grabbed the animal by its throat. Yeah. And while it quickly let go of his kid, the two of them fell into a wrestling match. Leopards
Oh, you're tough. Oh, you are tough.
are exceptionally lethal predators. with the ability to vertically jump 10 feet into the air and casually drag 200 pounds up into trees with them. There are even videos of leopards
Look at that thing.
plummeting from 300 feet, shaking it off,
What?
and continuing to hunt their prey. And here, this 30-something-year-old man was wrestling one with his hands gripped tightly around its throat.
That's dad strength, bro. W dad, bro. Actually, W dad.
The leopard thrashed him around. Its claws tore into his arms, chest, and split
Now,
his...
but I'm gonna keep it a buck. In India, they don't got the best healthcare in most places. If you got leopards attacking you, this is like the worst part of India, bro. So, like, that child is probably not making it, which is sad to say, but W dad indeed, bro.
Yes. But still, he didn't let go, because he knew if he did, it'd slaughter his family. So he did something absolutely insane. Mid-wrestle match, he positioned the...
By the way, just so y'all don't hate me, bro. Hold up. This might be a little extra, but I know some of y'all might.
family.
See, I'll be thinking of y'all, bro. Hold up. It says Indian dad. Okay, move on.
Insane. Mid-wrestle match, he positioned the leopard into a chokehold with both of his arms. These cats have necks that are thick with muscle designed to support their ability to carry heavy prey up trees. So, honestly, for a human, trying to strangle this wildcat is pretty much like trying to choke out a tree trunk.
Yeah, but you forget dad strength, bro. That's a real thing, by the way. That's an actual real thing. Let me go on a side tangent here and say this. Have you ever tried arm wrestling somebody who's over the age of 30, bro? Try arm wrestling any guy that's over the age of 30. It is genuinely impossible, gang. Like, I don't care how strong you are. You could be 3 times their size. You're just not beating them, bro. They're different over there.
Neighbors in nearby villages finally heard the commotion from the attack and quickly ran in the direction of the screaming family. But when they arrived, it seemed that they were already late to the party.
That's aura.
What they witnessed had everybody in pure disbelief.
That's aura.
They saw a man sitting on the floor, covered in blood, and in front of him laid a motionless leopard. Everybody was taken to the hospital for their injuries, and the only casualty of the event was the leopard. The Florida man.
W dad.
Everything was normal for a Floridian family.
Ooh, we said Florida. Oh shit, this one's gonna be crazy. Well, we might need a second to brace ourselves over here, boys. All right, we locked in, bro.
On a sunny beach day on July 6th, 2001, Pensacola. A 30-year-old uncle laid back peacefully on his beach towel, tanning in the sun while everyone had
Classic
fun around
Florida,
him.
man.
He sat up to look around and take in the moment. He saw volleyballs being thrown, sandcastles being built, and his 8-year-old nephew getting torn apart by a bull shark in the water. Then he laid back down and relaxed. Because
Bro, you know how crazy that is? There's only like 3 people that die of sharks like a year, bro. You're one of them? That's so unfortunate.
life was good. Yeah. No. Upon realizing what he just saw, the man immediately leapt up from his beach towel and began sprinting full speed towards the water. People began screaming, "Shark!" and started running away from the waters, but the uncle was still sprinting towards the bull.
If you're on sand, why are you running away from the water? Like, what a sheep mentality. Like, these sheep who are crazy, bro. Like, you hear shark and you just start running. You're on land, bro. You're on land.
Shark that was actively swimming away with his nephew in its mouth. Bull sharks are one of the, if not, the most aggressive shark species on the planet. They weigh anywhere from 200 to 700 pounds. They often hunt in shallow waters and are believed to have the most...
I could low-key take that in a fight.
...testosterone of any animal on the entire planet. So what do you think this Florida man did when he
Maybe I take it back.
the bull shark in the water? Well, he leapt on top of it. Yeah. After taking a good look at the
Florida, man.
400-pound beast, he jumped on it inside of the water and began punching it in the face to rescue his nephew. Fortunately for both of them...
How's a shark losing in the water? Like, you are an L species.
The shark actually let go of the boy.
Damn.
However, it bit off his arm and started swimming off with it in its mouth. Now, what do you suppose the Florida man did at this point?
As a Floridarian, I'm sure he's chased after the fucking fish.
He jumped back into action and began wrestling the bull shark underwater.
What is wrong with Florida?
The shark and the man fell into a tug-of-war match where the shark tried swimming off into deeper waters and the uncle tried desperately to pull it back onto shore.
Bro, like, he's really trying to take an arm back, bro. Like, that's just a piece of flesh, bro.
The man tugged, twisted, and pulled. The shark was trying to get away, but he didn't let go. I don't know how, but the psychopath literally pulled the shark back onto the beach, then pried its jaws open with his bare hands and ripped his nephew's severed arm out of its mouth. The arm was still intact. A local fisherman on a boat nearby noticed the commotion happening on the beach. He pulled out his rifle and took aim, and in one click, the shark's mad frenzy ended. Vance Flosenzia wrestled a bull shark and was able to give
Holy uncle, bro. Look at this Florida man, bro. He's moving different. This is a Giga Chad Florida man, bro. This is the prime Florida man.
His nephew
this is the final form.
arm to be reattached in surgery. I can't say I expected less from the Florida man, but honestly, He wins
Wow, that was actually a W endeavor, bro. We actually got something out of that.
Uncle of the Year. The Uno reverse incident. In 2024, a 35-year-old railway worker in India was just trying to get some sleep.
By the way, you know how crazy it is that we've gotten so good, science has gotten so crazy that we can genuinely put back a severed arm? Like, can we just take a moment to deep that?
After a long shift. It was the middle of the night and he was passed out on his bed when he felt something crawling up his leg. He woke up and saw a snake.
Hold up, y'all gonna hate me, bro, but I gotta see where this guy's from, bro.
Incident.
The Uno reverse
In
incident.
2024, a 35-year-old railway worker in the night and he was passed out on his bed when he felt something crawling up his leg. He woke up and saw a snake, but not just any snake, an extraordinarily venomous one that was assumed to be a crate or a cobra.
Oh,
Some of the
hell
deadliest
no.
reptiles on the planet. He stared at the snake. It stared back.
Yo, let me give y'all some piece of advice right now. If you see an animal and it's multiple color, just know you don't touch that, bro. Do not touch that. It's poisonous. The more colors, the more likely it is to be poisonous. Like the most colorful frogs and like snakes and whatnot, those are usually the most poisonous.
He continued staring, and so did the snake. And then it bit him. Now, most people would have panicked, called for help, or maybe tried driving toward a nearby hospital. But this guy just had to be different. Something inside him snapped,
Yo,
and
killing
before
a
the
snake
snake
ain't that
could slither
hard.
away, he grabbed the animal with his bare hands, and, he bit it.
What? What?
Multiple times. He chomped down twice on a reptile that is venomous enough to end the lives of 20 humans with a single bite. It tried wriggling out of his teeth.
Where was he
but
from?
Munched on it like it was a piece of jerky, effectively crushing it.
What?
Later on, the man was rushed to the hospital and given an antivenom so that he could recover from the bite. He later on told reporters that, in some parts of India, there's a superstition that biting a snake transfers the venom back to the animal, so that it'll pass away.
Okay, this that BS, bro. I don't know what they believe in India, but like, goddamn, what are we talking about, bro?
Instead of you. So, who knows? Maybe the superstition actually worked.
I mean,
He
maybe.
just needed an excuse for his revenge.
Holy. Please just what?
He was a 69-year-old Alaskan hunter, and on November 1st,
Oh, this is getting worse and worse. Oh, this is nightmare fuel. Okay, this is the worst. Okay.
1999,
No, it's not. Yeah, I guess it is.
he was out in the wilderness doing what he'd done for decades.
Okay.
Hunting. He knew the woods, and more importantly, he knew how to handle himself. Him and 3 other hunters set out to catch a black-tailed deer, but due to the windy weather, it was extraordinarily hard to sneak up on one. So they split up into groups of 2. Later on, after
I would love to go hunting one day, bro. I've just never been. I would love to.
hunting for what felt like hours, the man and his partner became frustrated because they still hadn't caught the deer. So he came up with a plan. He told his partner to split up with
We're talking hours? I wouldn't be able to wait that long with nothing happening.
him and said,
Same thing with fishing.
if I let out a shot, you come to my noise. But if you let out a shot, then I'll come to your noise. His partner nodded in agreement, but the only issue is that his partner was also wearing a heavy-duty hat with thick ear flaps that muffled the sound of pretty much everything outside.
Well, I thought he's gonna think he's the animal and shoot him. That's gonna be crazy.
The man split up from his teammate, and within just a bit, he found the deer they were trying to hunt all day. He took aim, marking a successful hunt for him and his crew.
Why do we have to censor that?
He waited for his partner to come, but it didn't happen. He began hooting like an owl a few times to draw attention, but his partner still didn't show up. The man rolled his eyes in annoyance, took off his rifle, and put it beside a tree. He then decided to butcher the deer meat by himself, and after cutting away at it for a while, the man heard a twig snap behind him. Feeling relieved that his partners
What?
finally showed up, he turned around to greet his crew. A brown bear stands at about 10 feet tall, weighs about 1,000 pounds. and
Whoa! I've watched enough Joe Rogan to know you do not fuck with these bad boys. I watched enough Joe Rogan impressions to know that these things are absolute menaces. You are so cooked, gang.
runs as fast as a car on a street. Unfortunately for this man, it wasn't his crew members that showed up,
I'm sick
but
as hell.
instead, the bear. The hunter froze when he saw it. The distance between the two of them was about 30 feet away. And the distance between
30 feet? How much is that? 30 feet? 30 feet is like... Yo, 30 feet is not that... Oh, shit, he's fucked.
him and his rifle was only 2 feet. But the bear let out a roar, and it charged at him so fast that it was impossible for him to even think about trying to grab that weapon.
Is he... People who snapped and killed apex predators with bare hands. There's no way he bare hands killed a brown bear. I will crash out.
He only had one option available, his buck knife. He dropped his deer meat,
Okay, so that's not bare
grabbed the
hand.
blade from his pocket, and right as he pulled it out, the man-beast was already right in front of him. The hunter aimed to slash at the bear's open mouth, but he missed and accidentally sliced its face
Holy
instead.
aura.
Angering the bear, it crushed his arm with its teeth, tearing off his skin and exposing his bone. The
Ooh.
hunter screamed in pain, and the full-grown bear pushed him down to the ground, pinning him into a death grip.
Yo.
While it twisted away at the hunter's arm, he quickly used his free hand to try to poke the bear's eye out with his thumb. But it began thrashing him around, causing him to miss continuously. The man switched gears and instead took his finger and jammed it deep into the bear's ear canal, rupturing its eardrum. The beast let go of him and recoiled in confusion and annoyance. It then let out another 100 to 120 decibel roar
What
and charged
the
at the
hell?
hunter again. The man
Yo, this
was
is something straight out of an anime, bro. This actually happened?
still on his back, so he desperately kicked the bear square in the throat, making it stumble as he hopelessly scrambled back to his feet.
What?
He was covered in blood, with an arm that was completely mangled and a bear that was charging at him again to finish him off for good. The man's mind raced, and his thoughts became a blurry panic. He was actually getting eaten alive by a bear, and he was running out of options for survival. Acting quickly, he fell onto his butt and stretched out his leg to use it as bait for the bear to bite onto and be distracted with.
Okay.
This would prove to be a terrible decision.
How's he thinking so clearly? In that moment, I would be tweaking out, bro. Well, how's he thinking so clearly? Oh, I'm gonna give him my leg. I'm gonna give him this. I'm gonna do that. Like, he's actually a genius.
Because instead of just biting the lower end of his leg, it actually chomped down on his thigh, giving it complete control over his entire body.
There's no way this guy
The
lives.
bear began to shake the man around like a rag doll, thrashing his body around and bashing his skull on the floor.
Yo,
There are
he's
trees
done.
and rocks, causing serious damage. The hunter couldn't see a single thing. His ears gotten blocked from the extreme trauma he was suffering, and he was losing consciousness. Nonetheless, his adrenaline gave him enough energy to power through the bear's thrashing and to plow his buck knife countless times into the beast's thick, furry neck. The bear dropped the man and backed away as it bled from its neck with his knife stuck in it. The man stood up on one foot with his body exposed, showing both muscle and bone, but he fell into a delirium and began screaming at the bear. Reports mentioned that he began desperately shouting something to the lines of, "God is on
Where did we get the reports from, bro? Who was there?
my side," or "The Lord is with me." The bear charged at him again, and with one good arm, he punched the bear square in the snout repeatedly, causing the disoriented animal to collapse on the ground. The hunter collapsed on the ground with the bear, then quickly scrambled to his feet to grab his
This
rifle.
is so much aura, bro. Like, this is actually an anime. Like, if this was Naruto, it would be like 30 episodes of them just farming this out.
Each time he stood up, he fell. But finally, he got to his weapon. At this point, his vision was blurry, his eyes were covered in blood, his hearing was muffled, and he was on the brink of passing out.
You're so cold, bro.
He stood over the bear's body with his weapon, aimed it at the bear, and then tried to shoot it. However, nothing happened. He quickly looked at his rifle and realized the flesh hanging off of his body had jammed the gun. The bear began groaning and slowly getting up again. He tirelessly pulled the flesh out, then aimed the weapon at the bear again. He was victorious, but then he immediately collapsed to the ground. The man could barely stand. He dragged himself across the snowy forest until he
If this guy's alive, I need to meet him, and Joe Rogan needs to find out and put him on the podcast, bro. Because he's going to start tweaking out once he hears that some guy beat up a brown bear, bro. Because you got to realize, yes, he had the knife, but that's low-key fair game, because bears have claws. Like, they basically have knives as well.
reached the beach. Sticks and branches tore at his already mangled body as he crawled. Each time he was about to lose consciousness from the sheer amount of pain he was in,
Damn.
he'd quickly grab a chunk of ice-cold snow and shove it into his mouth to shock him back awake. When he made it to the snowy beach, he finally saw his team. Horrified with what they saw, they ran to the man's disfigured body to help him out. Drenched in blood, the only thing the man said before passing out is, "Please." This is
Ooh.
the story of Gene Moe, an Alaskan huntsman. After receiving multiple skin grafts and about 1,000 stitches, he survived and made a full recovery from this nightmare. And despite the trauma, Gene kept on hunting well into
That's him? Bro, he's looking fine. He's looking calm. I thought he would look like terrifying.
He's surviving well into his 70s. He credited his survival to God, and he would go on to live a full life till 2024, where he passed away peacefully at 93. The wilderness is extraordinarily dangerous, but honestly, the moral of today's story is,
Holy
don't
aura.
mess with Russian grandmas, don't mess with Florida men, and especially don't mess with any Alaskan Christian dudes that have a bear hanging up on their wall. Now, go and have a happy day.
W video, that was actually crazy, bro. Like, genuinely, he has the best stories ever. But yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, because I post bangers like this every day. And yeah, see you.